And we're back. Welcome back to the Carabao Cup prediction series, the only important competition taking place this week in the footballing world. Of course, I am joking. The Champions League is back tonight as well. And if you missed yesterday's Champions League prediction video, you can check that out, available at the top of your screen right now. But today's video is going to be focusing solely on the Carabao Cup. And in fact, every single Carabao Cup game taking place this week. They have split this round over 2 weeks. And this video is going to cover every single Carabao Cup match being played tonight and tomorrow night, as the rest of the week is going to be dedicated to Champions League videos. As we said, yesterday's video was focusing on tonight's Champions League games, and then Wednesday and Thursday will focus on their respective night of Champions League action. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the remaining Champions League predictions this week, and then obviously Europa going forward next week as well. And speaking of European teams, because this competition clashes with European football, there has been no European entrants so far in this competition until this round now, meaning there are just 32 teams left in this competition when the European sides enter. And not only that, as we skip to the actual squad screen or prediction screen itself, the European sides are seeded so they don't play each other and have easier ties in this round as well. Absolutely ridiculous, considering that teams in round one are coming from League One and League Two, and these high-end Premier League teams aren't coming in until the third round and get easier draws as well. But let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments. As for how I've done in this competition so far, we've had 60 matches in the EFL Cup so far this year, and I'm on 39 correct predictions out of 60 with 5 correct scores. So not a bad start to my Carabao Cup campaign, and hopefully that is going to continue with these 9 fixtures taking place over the course of these next couple of days. And we'll start off right now then with the opening fixture of the night, an earlier kickoff from all of the rest. It is Stoke City taking on Fleetwood Town. Stoke currently sit 13th in the Championship. Fleetwood currently sit 12th in League Two. But Stoke, despite winning in their last round 5-0 away at Middlesbrough and sitting pretty good in mid-table in the Championship, have sacked their manager Steven Schumacher yesterday morning, meaning there's going to be an interim caretaker manager in charge for tonight's game against the Fleetwood side that hasn't really had too many difficult opposition in this competition so far, but they've done well to get to this position. But like I say, Stoke winning 5-0 away in the last round. They're going to have an interim manager of which the players are going to want to impress. It's that new manager pomp. We see it all the time. They're at home. They're against lower league opposition. So unfortunately, as well as Fleetwood have done to get to this position, I am going to go for a 3-1 win to Stoke City to kick off this EFL third round matches. On to the 7:45 kickoffs then, and we start off with Blackpool taking on Sheffield Wednesday. Both of these sides have had horrendous league seasons so far. Blackpool sit 19th in League One. Sheffield Wednesday sit 20th in the Championship. However, since then, Blackpool beat Blackburn away in the last round and have actually won their last 2 league matches as well. So they're sitting in a better position than they would have been a couple of weeks ago. Sheffield Wednesday, on the other hand, are on a really, really poor run of form. So with that said, I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 win to Blackpool, with lower league opposition beating the Championship sides once again. Second of the 7:45 games sees Brentford of the Premier League taking on Leyton Orient, who currently sit 22nd in League One. Incredibly, all of these sides that have got into this position from the lower divisions aren't actually doing that well in their respective leagues. So the cup run's coming at the detriment of their league form, it has seemed so far. Brentford, obviously, like I say, they're a solid Premier League team. They beat Colchester in the last round, so it's hardly much of an indicator of how they're going to perform against a side like Leyton Orient, because we still don't know if they're going to make changes. I think Thomas Frank is going to want to win this game. I think, realistically, Brentford should be winning this game. But, as with Blackpool, Leyton Orient beat higher league opposition in the last round. They beat Millwall, so it is possible that Leyton Orient could cause an upset. But again, I think the way that Thomas Frank's side is going to play tonight, I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable win for Brentford. And I'm going to go for 3-0 to them. On to the first all-Premier League clash of the round then, and it is Everton taking on Southampton in a battle of the absolute worst teams in the Premier League so far this season. They are sitting 19th and 20th respectively, not a single point to either of their names. Everton are, of course, the side that sit bottom of the Premier League with their inferior goal difference. We know that Southampton do like to play a possession-based style of play, but even though the goal difference hasn't been great for Everton, it's because they've been on the receiving end of hammerings where they have still at least got themselves a couple of goals. So I still expect Everton to get the goals tonight. We'll see how Southampton can perform against the Premier League side that they'll be hoping to prove they can get points against. I know this isn't 4 points, but it's a good opportunity to show that they could win points in the Premier League. But for me, it's Everton's game to lose. I'm going for 3-1 to Everton. That then brings us to Preston North End taking on Fulham. Another side struggling in their division. Preston sit 21st in the Championship and they're facing a Fulham side that sit 12th in the Premier League. Again, for me, it's the gap between the Premier League and the Championship, and I think that gap is just too great. We know that Fulham have a relatively good defensive record. They conceded in the 95th minute to West Ham at the weekend, which is very unfortunate for them. I don't see Preston causing them too many problems. As I said about Leyton Orient with Brentford, I am going to go for 2-0 to Fulham and see another Premier League side advance. The final game taking place at 7:45 tonight is Queen's Park Rangers of the Championship taking on another Premiership side in Crystal Palace. QPR doing a little bit better than some of their other Championship counterparts in this competition. They sit 12th in the Championship. Crystal Palace sits 16th in the Premier League and are yet to pick up a Premier League win this season. However, in the previous round, Crystal Palace did beat Championship side Norwich 4-0. So, again, it just shows you that gap between these Premiership sides and Championship sides. Don't get me wrong, QPR on their day, more than capable of producing a result. Ebericha, Eze and all that going back to Queen's Park Rangers, should I say, in tonight's match. But again, I just don't see these Championship sides causing the Premiership sides problems. Even if Palace make changes, their squad is very, very strong. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Crystal Palace. I'm going to give QPR a bit more respect because they are higher up the table than some of these other Championship clubs. But ultimately, I still think Crystal Palace come out on top. The final game tonight sees my club, Manchester United, taking on Barnsley, another Championship side, and this time actually the highest Championship side yet, as Barnsley sits 7th in the Championship and Manchester United sadly only sit 10th in the Premier League. However, both of these sides were on the receiving end of 3-0 results at the weekend. Manchester United winning 3-0, Barnsley losing 3-0, and of course Manchester United are the first of these European sides taking part in the Carabao Cup this season. For me, again, at home, against Championship opposition, as a Manchester United fan, I would be incredibly embarrassed if we didn't get the result tonight. I'm going to be conservative. I know we're going to make some changes. I've heard the likes of Anthony will be coming in, so look out for plenty of long shots from him in tonight's match. But for me, this is a Manchester United game that they should be winning pretty comfortably. I'm going to go for 2-0. That then brings us on to the two fixtures taking place tomorrow. The first of those is Brighton and Hove Albion taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers, who once again face each other in an all-Premiership tie. And it is two sides with very, very different form at the start of this Premier League season. Brighton sits 6th and are unbeaten. Wolves sit in the relegation zone on 18th and are yet to get a win this season in the Premier League. Obviously, both sides progressed in this round, in this competition in the previous round. But again, for me, Wolves will have to produce something very special to get a result against a very strong Brighton side. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Brighton. I can definitely see Wolves getting themselves a goal. They're a very good attacking team at times, but it's just not really happened for them yet so far this season. It's been happening very much for Brighton so far this season, so I'm going to go for 3-1 to them. And then finally, it is Coventry, once again of the Championship, taking on Tottenham of the Premier League. And again, two sides that haven't made the best of starts to their league seasons. Coventry sit 14th in the Championship. Spurs sit only 13th in the Premier League after 1 win, 1 draw and 2 defeats. So this isn't as cut dry as people might think. I think Tottenham are looking to do better. I think they're definitely looking to win a trophy this season and just been banging on about the fact that he always wins in his second season. So I think he'll be fielding a relatively strong side for this. Obviously, they've got the Europa League to contest next week as well, but I would expect Tottenham to get the result tonight. I'd expect them to play a very, very strong side tonight. Oh, tomorrow night, should I say. And I'm going to go for 3-0 to Tottenham to round off the opening week of this Carabao Cup third round. As always, let me know all your thoughts down in the comments section below. Don't forget to check out my Champions League predictions as well. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you tonight for my reaction to the Manchester United-Barnsley game, and then tomorrow morning for the next round of Champions League predictions. I'll see you there.